Hi, my name is Blake Thompson with Upstate Taxidermy. Today I'm going to do a short tutorial video on how to cape a deer out. If you're hunting in a state that is prone for chronic wasting disease, you need to cape your deer out and take the antlers off in order to transport it into a state that is not prone for chronic wasting disease. Today I'm going to show you how. What you'll need is something sharp. I use a single-edged razor blade. You may need something sharp with a point on it. I'm going to use this small X-Acto knife, a screwdriver, and a pair of gloves. So let's get started. 3 things to remember while you're caping your deer out. 1 is any mistakes that you make, your taxidermist is going to have to fix. So take your time and don't cut holes. 2 is to roll the membrane back with your left hand and cut with your right. And 3, the hide is white. So if you see white, cut carefully. Okay, before you start, you're going to want to take one measurement. And this measurement is from the very front corner of the eye to the tip of the nose. A taxidermist will take this measurement with a caliper, but any tape measure would work. You can just halfway ballpark it. So I'm going to put the front, go from the front corner of the eye, and then an eyeball, then tip of the nose, and this one comes out to about 7 inches. So you just want to make a note of that on a piece of paper. Alright, to begin, we're going to start up here around the nose, or the muzzle of the deer. We're going to work our way back almost to the tear ducts. And then we're going to come back here and make a Y incision and head back forward. It's always a good idea to remember where you are on the deer. That way you don't cut any holes. And remember, the deer's hide is white. So if you see anything white, you're probably cutting the hide. If you have a very sharp knife, you're not going to be as likely to cut holes. So we're going to start right here around the lips, and you can see where this lip area goes smooth, and that's right where you want to begin to cut. You're going to cut right along the inside of the lip, or you come up here and go around the nose, and then go back down the other side. Make sure you leave at least ½ an inch between where the hair stops and where you cut. That way I have enough skin to tuck the lips. For the nose, a good way to make sure that you give enough nostril skin is to stick your finger inside the nose and then cut and roll it around, and see the white membrane, just cut behind your finger. On the other side, do the same thing. Put your finger in, roll it around, and you can probably see my glove in there a little bit. Just cut behind your finger. Cut straight down on the nose to leave enough cartilage. Continue cutting back. And what you want to do is, there's a membrane between the skin and the muscle, and it's white. And you want to cut along that membrane right next to the bone. Alright, so we're past the nose. And we stuck our finger inside so that when you cut behind your finger, you're not going to cut the taxidermist too short on your lip skin. So now we need to get through this nose cartilage. This is what I was saying about the skin being white. You're going to cut until you see white. See, right there's white. Come on this other side, you can see where the meat turns into white flesh. Now when you peel the skin back, you're going to see white membrane, and you only want to cut the membrane. That way you don't cut your hide. Alright, now we're going to go to the bottom lip, do the same thing. Roll his chin down, cut way up here. Make sure you leave enough skin. You can see from where the hair stops to where I'm at least ½ an inch. Cut on back. And on the other side, do the same thing. Just make a cut right along that bone. And you can see the membrane there. That's what you're looking for. Just cut it. It goes pretty easy. we've got to this point, we need to join the upper lip with the lower lip. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut through. We're looking for white here. If you keep your finger on the bottom side, you can almost feel it. Once you get to that white skin, stop, because you'll cut through if you don't. Cut here till it turns white. Roll that skin out with your left hand and cut it with your right. Same on the other side. So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to make a cut. Trying to keep most of the hair out of the way that I can. And we'll come on the other side, make a cut as well. Join the two. Okay, after I've joined, cut that back just a little bit. I'm going to come right here in the middle and go backwards. And depending on how much neck you left on the head will depend on how far you need to go back. Just try to go right down the middle of the deer's back, down the dark hairline. Trying to keep most of the hair out of the way that I can. And we'll come on the other side, make a cut as well. Join the two. Okay, after I've joined, cut that back just a little bit. I'm going to come right here in the middle and go backwards. And depending on how much neck you left on the head will depend on how far you need to go back. Just try to go right down the middle of the deer's back, down the dark hairline. Still right here. Now that you've made that cut, you'll want to cut right up underneath the antler burrs so that you can get the skin out from around the antler burrs. So cut in and down and then in and up until you feel bone. Do the same on the other side. After that, we're going to use a screwdriver to go around the antler burrs and pull our hide away. There's two motions with the screwdriver that's very effective as far as getting this hide out from around the burr. One is rocking your screwdriver this way, and the second is rocking your screwdriver this way. One may work better than the other. You just have to kind of play with it. So you're going to start, come in, and just roll that hide away. Sometimes if you can get it down here, you can pry and it will just come loose. Here's where I'm going to use the rocking motion. It seems to work better on the sides. Just be careful not to let your screwdriver slip out, because you will hit those antler burrs and we'll rock it up and down. I'm going to come back here. Now that we've got the skin separated from around the antler burrs, you can skin this forward a little bit. If you pull it forward, you can see the membrane I've been talking about the whole video. You want to cut right there. Now we're going to take our ear butts off. So we'll pull this skin back, cut the membrane. You have to be a little careful around here on the back side of the antler burr. Just cut it free. There's a little bit of freezer burn in this head, so yours may go a little easier. To get the ear butt off, what you want to do is take your first finger and go underneath the ear butt, put your thumb on top, and then roll his ear down and put pressure. Okay, and then you want to come back here. You can feel where the bone rolls down right there. That's where you want to cut. Cut straight down. Come up here and trim away just a little bit. And then you want to keep cutting till you go through the ear canal, which is right there. Alright, and then I'm going to roll my thumb on up here onto the ear butt. I'm going to cut very carefully that I don't cut through the other side. As soon as you see white right there, you're on the hide on the bottom side. You can see how that turns white. So I'm through the ear butt. And you want to do the same on the other side. Alright, now that you've got both ear butts loose, you'll want to skin this back until you get to where you cut from forward when you caked it. So you'll have to pull this skin out and back and cut that membrane. Just go slow, take your time. Now, what you want to do, sit him up like this, and just see if you can get that cake to roll over the back of the neck. If not, you may have to come right here and cut down another inch, and that inch will give you a lot of room. Now we're going to go around the eye. If you're going to make a mistake, this is probably where it's going to happen. So just make sure you take your time, cut that membrane. Cut close to the bone up here around the antler burr. Come across. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to do it in stages. You'll have to come down probably this far on this side, and then do the same on the other side, and then come this far on this side, do the same on the other side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my finger and roll it under, and just make sure you cut behind your finger. Don't cut your finger or you'll cut the hide and your finger. Alright, once you got to the back of the eye, you want to take your finger and go inside and come under. You can feel the back of the socket. And you want to come over here and find the back of the socket. You can feel it with your inside finger. If you feel your blade, I can feel myself touching my finger there. So what I want to do is I want to cut behind that. And once you get down here, you'll feel the socket. You can kind of see it. And you're right around the eye socket. Rolling that finger inside, cutting as far back down in as you can. I have to come down here and skin out just a little bit, just to get it going. Put your finger as far down in there as you can and roll that skin out, and then cut behind your finger. And you're going to leave plenty of skin for the taxidermist, and then cut close to the pupil. So see, I'm not cutting out here, I'm cutting back here. You just have to take your time with it. Expose that membrane, cut it free. Alright, now I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. Alright. Got our finger through the hole. We're going to cut back here next to the eye. If you see right here, this membrane that's in the front corner of the eye, if you can stay behind it, it'll be very good. It'll make sure that you leave enough eye skin. And remember, the face is sloped down, so don't cut out, cut down. Follow the bone. Cut that membrane free right here. Alright, now there's your eye socket right here on the front corner of the eye socket. You gotta be careful, because remember what I said about remembering where you are. The tear duct's right here. Can't forget about it. So we're gonna roll this forward. You're gonna cut right on the bone right here. Just take your time. Cut it free down here if you need to. But this tear duct will come free best if you cut from the bottom. So we're gonna come in here and lay our knife in here and cut towards the bone, but lay it with the angle of the bone. And just make little tiny 1/8 cuts at a time. Until we can free that tear duct. And if you cut a hole right here, it's not the end of the world. But if you take your time and cut very slow, easy, it'll come free. Then you're right up here where you came back to last from the beginning, coming from the muzzle back, and you can just cut straight through. Do the same on the other side. Alright, we got our eye to nose measurement earlier, and if you forgot, you can eyeball it now. Just go from the front corner of the eye to where you think the tip of the nose would be. You can write that down. Taxidermists can probably look at your hide and get you pretty close. The other two measurements we're going to need in order to properly fit the form for your deer is going to be a measurement right here around the base of the head, the base of the neck. And this one's going to come to 15, and then slide down about 3 inches. And take another measurement. And this one's going to come to 16. You don't have to pull it tight, and you don't have to leave a whole bunch of extra slack. Just a loose fit will give you a good measurement. To finalize the process, you're going to need to remove the horns off of the skull. You're going to want to make a cut between the pedicles or the antler burrs and the back of the eye socket at a backward angle, like this, and come all the way across the front and in the middle on the other side. Then you're going to want to come to the back and make a cut toward the center of the eye socket. So your cuts are going to be here and here, all the way across. Then you're going to remove the brain from the skull cap, and then there will be no more nervous system tissue in your cape or in your horns. Once you've got your horns removed, you're going to want to get your hide frozen as soon as possible. Best case scenario is get it into a deep freeze or to your taxidermist. If you need to use ice, make sure that you double bag your cape in 2 garbage bags and completely submerge it in ice. That way it stays cold. Bacteria is going to start growing in this skin as soon as this animal dies, and time is of the essence. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure to check us out on Instagram or Facebook.